This is a broadcast of SmallCapVoice.com, a financial communications and investor relations firm. SmallCapVoice.com receives payment for investor relations and financial consulting services that it provides to its clients. You should assume that officers, directors, and employees of SmallCapVoice.com or financial analysts mentioned and their families hold a position and intend to trade in these securities for their own accounts. This is not an offer or recommendation to buy or sell securities. Information in this broadcast is presented solely for informative purposes and is not intended to be, nor should it be construed as, investment advice. As in all investments, an investment in the featured company carries an investment risk. Listeners should review the company thoroughly with a registered investment advisor or registered stockbroker. This broadcast does not purport to be a complete study of the featured company or other companies mentioned. Information used and statements of fact have been obtained from the featured company and other sources but not verified nor guaranteed by SmallCapVoice.com as to completeness or accuracy. Such information is subject to change without notice.
You're wired in. SmallCapVoice.com. Following is a presentation of SmallCapVoice.com, today's leader in investor relations, capital formation, and retail support. Now, with your online business briefing, SmallCapVoice.com's Stuart T. Smith.
Hey everybody, thank you so much for joining us here once again at SmallCapVoice.com's online business briefing, where we're joined today once again by BioCorRx Incorporated. They're traded under the ticker symbol BICX, and we're welcoming to the show the Chief Financial Officer, Lourdes Felix, as well as the interim CEO and Chief Operating Officer, Brady Granier. Let's say hello first to Lourdes. Lourdes, how are you today?
Good, Stuart. How are you?
I'm doing very well. It's great to be speaking with you and Brady again. Brady, how are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic. Thanks.
Well, thank you guys for putting out the news that you did here in the month of July, and that's what we're going to focus on here in this audio interview. So let's start with the first one out Thursday, July 2nd. Use that ticker symbol again, BICX, to find it. BioCorRx Incorporated and Sobriety and Addiction Solutions, LLC, announced mutual separation, plan to advocate for wider naltrexone implant use in the treatment of addiction. I'll open the floor to both of you. Tell us a little bit about this press release.
Well, as the press release stated, we have been partners, and we are separated now. Over the last couple of years, it's been a battle in this industry to get acceptance with payers and the medical community, and we've been fighting a good fight. And we had some differences of opinion on how to better, what was the best way to approach this massive industry. It's a $35 billion industry. So we had a lot of conversations, and we decided that we would be able to figure out a way to part ways and allow them to pursue their model of opening addiction treatment centers around the country and using a different program. And we would move on and continue with our distribution model and plans using our program. And well, look, it's never a pleasurable experience when you're looking at a separation from anything, a partner or a business partner or personal relationship. Initially, it can be a little rough, and as you go through the details of that separation, you start looking at the brighter side of it and where are the positives. It is what it is. Things happen, and this separation did happen. But we like to look at what's going to be the best thing that's going to come out of this for us and for our shareholders, and for the patients and for the industry. This is how we view it now. I think it's a positive. Because what it does now, having another company, a different company, doing something similar to what we're doing, it validates the marketplace. Having two companies going out there and building more awareness for it, I think will help create the market for what we're doing. So I look at it as a positive, and it also keeps you on your toes. So it'll help us to make sure we're on top of improving our product at all times.
Well, I appreciate you addressing that for myself as well as the shareholders, Brady. Let's move on to the next piece of news that came out July 6th. BioCorRx announces first patients treated in wellness center pilot using the Fresh Start program. So a bit of positive news here. Let's touch on that.
Yeah, we were very excited that they started to treat patients recently. The initial pilot program we set up to be in up to 5 different locations. but we decided along with Myriad that they actually preferred to just hone in on one for now and make sure that that first location, we get all the kinks out of the system, so to speak, before we would go out and roll it to potentially another few other centers as part of the pilot, or even potentially rolling it out after just doing the pilot in one center. So we had to kind of follow their lead on that, and unfortunately, it takes a little longer than people might realize to get a clinic up and running to treat people for addiction. These wellness centers are not currently treating addiction. They're treating other illnesses, weight management, chiropractic care, physical therapy, occupational therapy, etc. They're not addiction clinics. So it's a partnership where we're training them on the medical side of what we do, and BioCorRx is controlling the psychosocial aspect of the program. So it's like we're breaking up the program in two, where they're handling the medical aspects and we're handling the psychosocial aspects. There's a lot of planning, preparation, and protocols that need to be followed. Doctors need to be trained on how to do the procedure according to best practices. It's a surgical procedure.
Well, and not only that, I don't think people understand, when you announced that it was going into 5 clinics, that if you would have gone and rushed out into all those 5 clinics and you had something along the way, a hiccup, the mess would be a lot larger than, as you say, it is a pilot study. So you went into one first, you work out the kinks, then you can roll out others. I think Myriad might have been prudent in this call on this one, Brady.
I agree. I mean, it's the right thing to do because we have to deploy resources to all of those places. And what would be the point of that if we didn't figure out some of the initial hiccups, in the process?
Well, money would be wasted, and I think shareholders need to understand that part of it too, that there's more to it than hitting these milestones quickly. They need to be done correctly, and that saves money, which then brings more shareholder value in the end.
Absolutely. You're absolutely correct. So we're happy and we're thrilled that they completed their first 3 patients. It's still in the early stages. Our program is just not a surgical procedure and the person's cured. This is not a cure. It's the first part of a program that those particular patients are currently going through their psychosocial part of the program, which lasts about 6 months. But so they're learning that part of the process as well. So we're going to continue to work on this pilot. They're excited about it. We remain excited about it. But it is a pilot, and we have to determine its viability at the end of that pilot. The end date, there is no specific end date to it. It's going to be one of those things where all the parties involved feel that it's a success or not. There's 3 parties that have to come to that determination. There's BioCorRx, there's the clinic, and then there's Myriad Medical, who would be taking this model out to hundreds of wellness centers around the country. So we have to get together and make sure that it's viable for all parties. But right now, things are looking great, and we continue to work with Myriad and with Corona to fine-tune the system, because when it's done, we want to be able to roll it out quickly. So you're right. It's better to do it more meticulously now and focus in on one and put all our resources on that.
Well, let's talk about the asset purchase agreement. This is the second of a back-to-back-to-back press release coming out 6th, 7th, and 8th. This one came out on the 7th. BioCorRx Incorporated finalizes asset purchase agreement to acquire naltrexone implant formula for treating addiction. Now, this is something that's been an ongoing discussion for you and the company. We've spoken about it before, but here it is coming to fruition and being finalized. Let's talk about this.
Yes, we're happy that occurred. And we entered into a letter of understanding quite some time ago, and then we reinstated that more recently. But now we actually have an agreement in place. We have to perform on that agreement, but we're excited about the prospect of that and what that does for our business. As many people may not be aware, there are new laws out there when it comes to compounding of pharmaceuticals, and by owning the formula, once we do completely own it outright, we'll be able to take advantage of some of those new laws in regards to what they call outsourcing facilities. And what that is compounding pharmacies can register with the FDA to become an outsourcing facility. And what that does is it releases a lot of the restrictions on compounding when it comes to the manufacturing and the marketing of them. But it's on the patient side of it, it also is supposed to produce a safer product. Everyone may recall back in 2012 there was a meningitis outbreak that occurred from a compounding pharmacy where unfortunately multiple people died as a result of an unsterile product. The result of that was the Drug Quality Act of 2013 that came into play and created this new industry for compounding pharmacies. It's an elective. The pharmacy can elect to become one of these outsourcing facilities, which means they're going to pay a fee and be under FDA scrutiny and inspection, which is great for the patients. But it also allows for more control over the product and the manufacturer of it and the efficiency of how we can get product to the clinics. So owning that formula will allow us to take better advantage of those with our production and pricing, etc. So we're very excited about the prospect of that, and it also leaves it open in case we were to get the product FDA approved one day. I mean, we have more control over that process. We have advisors in that space, and we're looking at the prospect of that occurring. But we can do both at the same time. We can look at the prospect of the FDA approval route while we can take advantage and operate underneath some of these new laws. And I want to be clear that even with the current laws of compounding, we're able to perform and have an operation going, because right now the way people are able to get our implant is based on the current compounding laws, in which a prescription needs to be written for the patient by a doctor, and the compounder produces that product for that patient's prescription. So it might get a little bit technical for people, but that's how currently our industry performs. Again, by acquiring that formula, it just allows us to be more in control of what direction we want to go and the efficiencies with the production of that product.
Very good. Well, moving on to July 8th, BioCorRx Incorporated announces engagement of Maxim Group LLC to provide strategic advisory services. Maxim Group's been around for quite a long time. I know I've been in the business 15 years and been working with them the whole time. So big coup for you and your company. I know Maxim doesn't just take on with anybody. Lourdes, why don't you tell us a little bit about this?
Yeah, I'm very excited, obviously, for that press release to have come out, to share with our shareholders, and then have them really see that BioCorRx really takes shareholder interest and shareholder value seriously. I've been talking to Maxim for a couple of months prior to the engagement on July 1st, and we are very, very happy to have them on board with us and to share BioCorRx with the investment community. I feel that it will be on a much larger scale that BioCorRx had been able to achieve on their own. We're looking forward to any introductions as far as any possible mergers and acquisitions in the near future, and everything else that comes with investment bankers. So it is a brand new relationship, and it is something that we are very excited about, and would love to have our shareholders excited about that as well. I think that everyone will see in the near future that this relationship really benefited BioCorRx, or BioCorRx really benefited from this relationship with Maxim.
Well, Maxim's got a terrific track record of being able to take companies from point A to point B, and in your case, hopefully that means to a higher exchange. Brady, any thoughts from you on this press release?
She covered it quite well, but we are excited about it. I'm excited about it. Looked at what they've been able to do in the past with other companies, and I think it's just another step in showing the maturity, the maturation of our company. We're growing every day as we learn more things and start developing better relationships and bigger relationships in the industry. So we are excited about it, and we're looking forward to working with them over the months and hopefully years ahead.
Well, listeners, once again, we are speaking with the Chief Financial Officer, Lourdes Felix, as well as the interim CEO and COO of the company, Brady Granier. Of course, they are with BioCorRx Incorporated. That ticker symbol is BICX. If you want to stay in the know about the company, you can do so by visiting BioCorRx.com, as well as some of their other websites which are available, BICXcorp.com. If you want to learn about Maxim Group, and I encourage you to do so, that's Maxim, MAXIM, grp.com. Well, Lourdes, thank you for your time today here at Small Cap Voice.
Thank you, Stuart. Always good talking to you and our shareholders as well.
You as well. Thank you, Lourdes. And Brady, thank you so much for your time here today at SmallCapVoice.com.
Always a pleasure, Stuart.
All right, for Brady Granier and Lourdes Felix, this is Stuart Smith saying thanks so much for listening.
SmallCapVoice.com, today's leader in investor relations, capital formation, and retail support, provides its clients with the highest level of service. Our audio interviews are disseminated to one of the largest opt-in audiences available today. How? We at SmallCapVoice.com believe in aligning and affiliating ourselves with other leaders within the investor relations community. By sharing resources, each affiliated firm is made that much stronger and each client is served that much better. Our focus is to identify and provide the very best financial services and solutions available to clients and their shareholders. For more information about our services, please call us at 512-267-2430 or visit us on the web at www.smallcapvoice.com.